Oh boy, oh boy, oh boy. Update 1.2 is shocking, and not in a great way. My personal opinion is that they completely missed the goalposts in what we wanted. So we're going to start off with the content changes, and this is actually one of the better ones, so we're going to start off with it. So we've got the new player screen / statistics screen, and it's pretty decent. It has a good amount of info on it. It breaks down like all your weapons to like kills, accuracy, things like that, even has information about your game modes and stuff like that. So it's got a good amount of information in it. It could have been a lot worse, to be honest. We could have gotten so much less information. I do also feel it could have been a little bit better, but yeah, I like it. I think it's a good addition to the game, and it actually can allow you to now see a progression of either whether you're getting worse or better at certain game modes, or what your best weapon is, or best class like playstyle is. So I do think it's a good addition to the game. So we're going to move on to some of the weapon changes. So we'll just start off first with the MP90. I never used it, still haven't really used it, so I cannot give you a comparison of it before and after nerf, but basically it's apparently been nerfed for its close range, but from what the other guns have apparently been nerfed to, I don't have any hopes that the MP90 actually had a significant change to it, so we'll just leave it at that. I've not used it, but I have used the K30. So straight off the bat, I cannot feel a change with the HP ammo. The high powered ammo for the K30 feels exact same. The subsonic still feels a bit under par, but that is just purely due to its 21 mag capacity, in my opinion. Like, you can get 1 kill out of it, maybe 2 if you're really lucky, but then it's like luck coming into it, not necessarily skill. So where it needed to be changed, it doesn't feel as it has done, which is longer ranges. That's the problem. We've been complaining about the K30. We don't mind it being such a powerhouse close range. It's just, if it's going to be a powerhouse close range, it can't be so good at its long range still. So that was where that goalpost was missed with the K30, in my opinion. Let me know down below in the comments if you agree that if the K30 long range was where it needed to be changed, not its close range. I could accept its close range being really nice and strong. It's an SMG. Next on the list, we have the BSVM changes. And again, the close range feels like no changes have been made. I'm pretty sure the update said basically it was like a 1 bullet difference with the time to kill. Doesn't feel any different because of its rate of fire and things like that. So again, it really feels like it didn't get a nerf, really. And the long range feels the same, which is still a 1 headshot, 1 body shot kill at pretty much any ranges. So the nerf just feels redundant. It literally feels like nothing has changed with the BSVM. Honestly, I'm not sure how to actually balance the weapon, other than the developers need to either take it down a specific route of, is it a close quarters combat weapon, or is it a long range weapon? Make it a proper marksman's rifle, get rid of its auto fire, give it semi-auto. Straight away, it's then drastically different close range. Or is it supposed to be one of those close range, like infiltration, reconnaissance style guns meant for close range quarters, then change its damage profile in the long range? Like, they need to choose one way or the other way, for my opinion. Right now, it is just too good at everything. Nerf just feels redundant. So, lastly, on the weapons, we have the M5A3 changes. And boy, this gun was strong pre-nerf. Post-nerf, it's just still as strong, seriously. Like, they have just missed the goalpost completely with the weapon changes. It feels like it literally feels like there's been no change. I do understand they don't want to mess around with TTK too much because of what happened in Battlefield 5, the previous Battlefield they've released, but because of the plus system and things like that, they need, in my opinion, they're making the weapons way too universal, way too good at all roles in one go. There needs to be some sort of balance there. Maybe rather than it being like normal reload speed to change from one ammo mag type to your other ammo mag type, maybe it has to be twice the amount of speed. So where you see yourself take the mag out, and then it's like you have to wait for your guy to pocket it, and then grab another mag out of a different pocket, and then pull that mag onto the screen, and then click it in. So it's like an even longer reload to swap the mag attachment. That that's just an example. I'm not exactly a game dev and know how to balance it that way, but this weapon especially, it needs something like that, because the close combat rounds are still so OP. Like, again, it doesn't feel like any change has been done to those. Like, they still have an insane fire rate, so like it's so easy to control the weapon with the other attachments. Your close range is just unbelievable, whether you're ADS or not. And then your long range, if you tap fire or do slow burst, or even just swap it to semi-auto, the gun is still incredibly good at those long ranges without even having to mag swap to a different attachment. Like, so I still don't know how this weapon could be balanced better, but the close combat rounds on the M5A3 right now currently is one of my favorite and best setups to go with. It is so fun, so versatile, and it's just so powerful. Next on the list, we have the kaleidoscope changes. Well, hey, some more map changes. Finally, we get the better updated versions of the launch maps, which, oh wow, yeah. So the majority of the breakthrough version of this map is unchanged. I think they missed a point there. Not too bad like they did with the weapons. I would have to say this map is more of the positive sides. We did a positive, negative, now we're back to a positive map change. It's all good. So I do actually think it's actually got a lot of good changes to it. There is a lot of new cover and lines of sight in all the other areas, and there's a nice addition, but still the map still feel a little bit too big for 64 players in Conquest. Like, breakthrough in 64, that's the sweet spot. I love that. That's great. I do think though that they could have slightly adapted some of the other areas in with breakthrough a bit better, like maybe change the ordering of the sectors you go through, maybe just change the boundaries slightly. I'm not exactly sure how I would prefer it to change right now, but I do think it's getting better. And again, like I said, with the rest of the map, when you play it out of breakthrough in the Conquest or Rush in portal modes and things like that, it plays really well. Even in a 128 player Rush mode, it is just absolute chaos, but it can still be really fun and entertaining, and you can actually still successfully attack or successfully defend. It does have a bit of, it does have balance to the map, and I do actually enjoy that. There's a lot of balance on the map now compared to how it used to be. The map does feel so much better, so I will have to say big ups there. You did a good job with that map. It feels so much better now. I do believe though that Conquest side of it does need to be 128 players for that map to truly feel full and engaging. However, or at least more than 64, maybe not quite 128. Like, what's the middle point between the two of them? Like 90 something, 92, 94, something like that. Like, maybe just a bit more than 64, but not maybe quite as many as 128. Even if you could have perfect frames and server stability, I think actually 128 might be a bit too much. Maybe like 100, between the 90 or 100 mark, I think would be good. Right, and then next we have the specialist look changes. So honestly, I was not that bothered, and wasn't ever really bothered ever how they looked, completely honest. I do agree that they didn't fit the gritty, grimy theme the game tried to portray, but again, I just didn't really care how they looked, purely for the fact that, you know, the character you play as, you don't get to see them in the game, so you only get to see how other players want to look. So I'd never really cared about it myself, because you can't ever really see your own player. So yeah, but my honest opinion would be to just cover all the specialist faces with a mask or something. Just problem solved right there and then. They can still all have their voices, which makes them all unique still, with their unique body shapes and whatever kind of thing to keep people happy. But just cover the faces with masks, like make them faceless. Like, some of the best like people in COD are the faceless people. Like, just you're trying to copy COD so much, Battlefield, why don't you just take their idea? Faceless operators. That way, no matter what, people can just make up whatever they want for what they look like. They've got masks and stuff on. They've only got a voice to portray who they are. That allows us to be a bit more creative as well, and stops people feeling butthurt. Sorry for saying it that way, but yeah, stops people from basically getting butthurt because it's not what they wanted or what they expected. They could still twist it because there's a mask over them. And also, extra bonus, especially for you DICE, it also means that skins can be more creative and fun because they no longer have a face or anything like that. Like, now they're wearing masks and things. Oh, Halloween's coming along. song. Each of them can have a new Halloween mask, a demon, or this and that. Like, you can theme them. So, like, every time there's like a holiday or something, you could be releasing cosmetics as microtransactions, and people would gobble it up because, like, oh, I want my guy to look like Santa Claus, or I want my guy to look like an elf this Christmas. Like, oh my god, you really dropped the ball on that one, I think. Like, just to make faceless operators and the skins and everything you can do with them, oh my god, yeah, so much better. And something that actually wasn't in this script originally, because it's not actually something I noticed straight away, and I don't think it's something that's actually in the notes properly, or very like out. It's not something that jumps out at you in the patch notes. All the lines said after rounds have been removed, so like you can no longer hear all those cringy lines by Angel anymore. Like, they've all been removed. You don't hear them anymore. Like, it kind of I didn't realise to start off with, and then when I realised, I felt a little bit like, what? And I felt like a little bit was missing for a second. Like, oh, I didn't get to hear Valkyrie. I didn't get to hear that cheesy line at the end of the round to try and always put a smile on my face, even if it was a horrible round. And I played toss that entire game and just felt bad about my performance that entire match. But at least I could hear Angel or somebody say something dumb and stupid to make me laugh. That's gone now, so I kind of miss it a little bit, but I really do think it was a much better way to go. Like, the game was, again, the theme is gritty. Having those voice lines in it took it out of that grittiness, took the seriousness away. It's positive that they've removed it, in my opinion. It wasn't something I noticed initially, so there we go. And I've actually had a few new bugs and issues since this latest update. One of them is Battlefield 2042. After closing the game, and it closes properly, it still appears in my task manager, and even when I end task in task manager, it doesn't stop. It just hangs there. The only way I can get rid of it is by actually shutting down my computer and booting it back up. That's annoying me. It only happened like 2 or 3 times now, or maybe even 1 or 2, but that was very frustrating for me. And one that I've actually had a couple more times, but still not a ton. I've not had a ton of bugs and problems with this game, other than performance is the biggest problem, and things like input lag and things like that, but actual bugs and issues, not a ton. The screen, my screen gets taken over by Battlefield 2042 sometimes when either quitting the game or like alt-tabbing. I play in full screen, so when I alt-tab, it's supposed to minimize the screen completely. Sometimes it doesn't, and the screen just freezes on the frame, and that's really annoying, because then I have to obviously use Control-Alt-Delete to bring up Task Manager. That's a nice easy thing. Then you press Task Manager, and the Task Manager window appears behind your frozen window screen, and you're just like, oh, luckily I know my keybinds to force that window onto one of my other display monitors, because luckily I have multiple display monitors, so I can do that. That will be very frustrating for somebody who only has the one monitor, and I'm so glad I got more than one, because I can circumvent that issue. But that does need addressing, because people with just the one monitor will not be able to just pull Task Manager to another window to be able to use it to end the task and end the program of Battlefield and fix it like I could. So there were also many more changes, including the vehicle changes, which I won't go over because I'm not really a vehicle player and I don't understand half of the changes. I read them and I understand them, but at the same time I'm a bit like, I don't know how this actually affects it in game, because I don't play vehicles. And there's some HUD user interface updates where you can like turn the transparencies of things and just customize icons and stuff like that, transparencies and things like that a bit more, just like more quality of life, and some general fixes for the game and portal updates. But like I said just previously, I've actually had some new bugs and stuff, so some things have been fixed. But as usual, anybody who knows anything about development of games and how games have been working for like the past 5 to 10 years, when you update and you fix one thing, their chances of other things breaking are like 50-50, and it's just kind of unforeseeable in the extent of a ginormous AAA game like this played by thousands, maybe millions of players. I won't say Battlefield 24 has millions of players, but let's say something like Warzone or Fortnite, millions of players there. So you can imagine that their internal testing can't test to the scale of the public being introduced to the update. So I do feel for the developers from quite time to time, and the developers of the game, I think you're doing a great job. I am actually enjoying the game quite a lot. I do I know most of the issues with performance are on my end, with my computer being about 5 years old now, but I also do wish that the optimization was a bit better, because it's not like I'm using ancient and like obscure components. I've got like the top components of its year, like very well known. A 1080 Ti, like the 1080 Ti isn't yet, it's old now, but it shouldn't be running 2042 at 40 frames in my opinion. A 2080 Ti should be able to run 2042 at higher than 40 frames on average. So I would prefer some more optimization to the game, but I do think you developers are doing a great job. Wish you all the best with the future of the game, and I will most likely be buying the next game anyway because I'm a fanboy. So to round this all off, I think the update has just missed the goalpost completely with the weapon changes. That is just the biggest problem, but everything else all good. Like the specialist, the actual look change is better. I just never cared. The statistic page, big thumbs up from me, great addition. The map changes, great, keep them coming please. Don't give up on the map changes, please keep them coming. But yeah, drop a sub, drop a like, drop a comment down below what you think about the 1.2 update. And if you think I'm talking out my ass and don't know what I'm talking about, then let me know down in the comments below, and maybe we can have a gentleman's discussion about it. So if you also wish to support me further than a sub, I do also have a Patreon, which you can find a link down in the description below. But until next time, keep safe, keep well, and I'll catch you later.